Life online. Who needs life when you've got Facebook? Life online is more than just social networking. There is a lot more things you can do with being online. And the first one we're going to look at is the cloud. What do you actually know about the cloud, or what sort of services can you get from the cloud to help you with your life online? The cloud, defined, is a network of remote servers that's hosted on the internet, and those servers will manage and store and process data in the cloud, in the internet, rather than you doing those processes on your server or computer's hard drive, so you can't physically touch it. It's the next stage in the internet's evolution, and it's fast becoming the main method by which everything, going from computing power, infrastructure, applications, business processes, social networking, personal collaboration, anything can be delivered to you as a service that you can access wherever and whenever you need it. The cloud services in particular that we might find useful are the following. One is Dropbox. Dropbox is a free account. You can get 2 gigabytes of data free to store, and that can be anything you like. And if you go beyond that 2 gigabyte, then to get more, 100 gigabyte costs $9.95 a month. Now, 2 gigabyte generally is enough. You can get a mobile app for iPads, phones, Androids, tablets. You can access from your web browser all your data. Dropbox, you can create files, you can add, you can delete, you can move, you can copy, you can edit, whatever file you want, just as if it was on your system. So it's a good method of backing up. Create a document, save it into a folder on your hard drive, and then also store a copy in Dropbox, and you can access that file wherever you are. When you edit the file, it would be synchronized with the file in Dropbox. It is one of the best cloud services you can ever get, and it integrates so well with the mobile devices. Another one to access and store your files is Google Drive. So if you're a Google user and you make use of Google services, Google Drive also is free, and there are the limits you get, 7 gigabytes for your Gmail, so it all integrates together. Gigabyte for your Picasa images, 1 gigabyte storage for Google Docs. So overall there's enough space there for you to use Google Drive, and you can use them all. Google Drive, Dropbox, and again you can use the same thing at whatever file you want to upload. It has mobile apps, and it again integrates very well with tablets and the iPad. Windows, if you're a Windows user, then you might want Windows SkyDrive, and 7 gigabytes of storage space, integrates with the Windows ecosystem, so integrates very well with Hotmail, which is now Outlook Mail. You get free Office documents, so within SkyDrive you could open up a Word document, a spreadsheet, a PowerPoint presentation, work on them, create them in the cloud environment, so they're not actually on your hard drive, the Office, but you can access them and edit them and save the file to your local drive. Works on Windows, it works with Mac, has mobile apps, and it's another lot of storage you can use. You can have all three and you're getting a whole lot of storage space. Box is another one, box.net, 5 gigabytes for storage, and this one's good for online collaboration, but the others also do that too. You can collaborate and edit with a group a document. It works on Windows and Mac, and again has mobile apps. And this one's 5 gig, these are all free. iCloud is the Mac equivalent, so if you have a Mac computer or an iPad or an iPhone, then iCloud comes with it. You can make use of it for some of your data, so the mail, the contacts, the calendar, the iWork documents can all be uploaded and stored on iCloud, but you can also use all the other services as well. To really use iCloud, you need to be running a Mac with Lion or Mountain Lion, or an iPad, an iPhone, or an iPod Touch running iOS 6. It doesn't work that well with Windows iCloud. But all of these are cloud services. All you need is an account. The address for them is in the accompanying document, but just sign up for an account. The better thing with iCloud is it doesn't just give you storage, but it also includes all of Apple's wireless services. It synchronises everything, so all your contacts, your photos, your calendar, everything synchronises across all Apple devices and Windows devices. It also works with iTunes Match, and that's the Apple's version of storing your iTunes music collection in the cloud. $25 a year, you can have all your music in the cloud, so you can download and stream it wherever you want instead of having the whole lot. All your music on one device, because you may not have big enough capacity for that. Online shopping. Now, shopping in a connected world means that you as a consumer are interacting with organisations, whether that's supermarkets or online shopping portals or the online version of a physical shop. You are commenting on it through social media perhaps. You're looking at what is the best deals. You're learning about brands through looking at online shops and doing reviews and searches about a product you want to buy. Social networking, again, will give you fairly good ideas about where it is effective to shop. And you might investigate organisations and whether they're worthwhile on blogs. And then you can purchase online with the organisation. You can do all your shopping from your computer, from your iPad, from your tablet, without ever going into the actual physical shop. And a graphic to sort of explain that. In the old way of shopping, the analogue world, you had to do all that yourself by actually going to the shop and showing some loyalty. In the connected world, there are new methods of locating your purchases through either social media, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, the three main ones, or you've done some research on the internet, looking up a product you want. So you learn about the product through the online methods of research. You investigate again through looking at reviews of that product, talking to other people who've used that place. You buy it online, then you interact again with either the shop you bought it with, leaving some feedback, or you explain about your experience on social networking. It's a whole new way of buying. To shop, though, you need to be safe because you don't want hackers getting your credit card details or your identity stolen. To be absolutely safe, then you should try and pay by credit card, or if even safer, which is what I try and use wherever possible, is pay with PayPal. And PayPal is a way where you can sign up for a PayPal account, you can input your credit card, and then any time you need to pay for something, you pay by PayPal. So you're not actually putting your credit card details out online, only PayPal have it. When you're shopping, you need to make sure that in the browser there is a padlock in the bottom right, and in the URL that says HTTPS to ensure that it's safe. That's sort of what it looks like. HTTPS is indicating here that that vendor is using a secure server, that they have updated their server to and enable them to get a certificate to ensure that if you shop there, that it's safe. Your web browser, as long as you're updating it, particularly with Windows, then you're going to have a browser that will accept the secure sockets layer certificates, which is what the HTTPS is standing for. If it doesn't have the S and you're about to put in some credit card details, then that is not encrypted, it is not secure, and you should back out of that site immediately. Because if you put your credit card details in, they are going across on the internet unencrypted. Anyone with some sniffing software can grab those details. Also, what you need to know is information about the vendor before you actually buy something, particularly with eBay as the example. Have a look or do some research about the vendor. Type into Google the name of the vendor plus review at the end to see what other people have said about that vendor before you actually buy anything, particularly if they're unknown. You want to know about the delivery times, and is there any contact information for this organisation should something go wrong? What are the reviews that other customers have said about them? And what are the hidden charges? Is there postage that they haven't actually said, or is there something else? Know everything you can about an online shopping site before you actually make an order, in case there's something wrong. You keep your browser up to date. So if your browser is not up to date, then when you try and go to an online site, you might be confronted with this sort of pop-up message that the security certificate that the website is displaying is not trusted, it's not valid. And you have a choice. You can either close that web page, or if you think it's a mistake, you can continue. But it's a warning, so you need to be careful before you go any further that the site you're trying to access is in fact that actual site. And if you think it is, then just click continue to this website. But it's indicating your web browser is not up to date, perhaps, and you need to go, if you're on Windows, to do a Windows update. Is the business or the website legitimate? There is a site you can go to called shopsafe.com.au if you're in Australia, where you can put in the name of the business, and it will give you a little review of the type of goods that it sells. If it's actually legitimate, you can click on check this merchant, and it will then tell you that this has the current certificate, that it's secure, that it accepts these sort of payments, that it's legitimate. Give you the contact details. So if something that you really haven't heard of, I haven't heard of fishpond.com.au, for example, then I might just do a check before I actually decide I'm going to place an order with them. If you're doing online shopping, then you need to be using a very strong password, and it is highly recommended that you use a different password for each site you have an account with. Don't use the same one for everything you do. If one site is compromised and that password is known, then a hacker will try all different other sites with the same password. Gmail, Hotmail, and each time they're successful, they'll learn more information about you. So strong password, different password is the key there, different. Some shopping sites. There are some links there to some of the online shopping portals. You could also do a Google search by putting in the search term online shopping Australia, and it would come up with a whole lot of different online sites that you can then click on and go and investigate. myshopping.com.au is what's known as a shopping portal. If you're looking for a certain type of good, say you wanted to buy women's shoes, then by going to the shopping portal, it would give you a whole overview of all the online websites according to that category. So everything to do with women's shoes in Australia, it will give you some starting points. So it's a good way to start. So Online Shopping Australia, there's the website for it. So if you're looking for mobile phones, for example, there's some information that it gives you about some links. It has some social media, so you can actually subscribe to updates. You can follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, subscribe to the RSS feeds, and then in your email you'll get some updates every time there's some new information about shopping from that site. Finding information. Another thing to do online, you're always looking for information on a range of topics. Google is the most famous of the search engines, but there's also Bing, which is part of the Windows network. Wolfram Alpha is a much more technical, scientific search engine. So if you're looking for very specific searches, that's not a bad one. There's some links there, and again, check the document in the description for the link to download that document on more search engines. So there's a whole lot of different types of search engines that you might use, very specific ones. Google, for the most part, is enough, but there are others. Wikipedia, another one that most people go to if you're looking for information. It's a web-based encyclopedia written collaboratively by volunteers from all over the world. Since it started, 2001, it's become one of the largest reference websites, with 2.5 million articles currently in English on that site. I find it far too dense, the results from that, so I don't like Wikipedia. Web2 search, if you're looking for a blog search engine, if you are wanting to read what other people are writing about particular categories. So if you're looking at genealogy, for example, if that's one of your interests and hobbies, and you want to find out all the different blogs that are around on genealogy, use the Technorati search engine, because that is purely a blog search engine and directory, and it works with blogs and social media sites. So it's what I use if I'm wanting to look for technology websites and blogs and look at who's writing about technology. I would search for them in Technorati rather than Google. Another specific one, another example is Trove, which is done by the Australian National Library, and it has, at the time I did this, over 242 million Australian online resources. So if you want newspapers going back to the 1800s, historic newspapers, archives, images, music, anything online, you'll find it in Trove. You can while away a many hour looking up newspapers from historically from way back. Have a look at that one. The IMD is another example of search, finding information. It's the Internet Movie Database, and it's the world's most popular and authoritative source for movie, TV and celebrity content. There's mobile apps for it as well, but if you're looking at a TV show and you want to know how old that actor is, look him up in the IMDb. There's a website for it, and you can also download an app for it. YouTube is the third largest search engine online and has a massive online collection of videos. And you can search for and you can watch an endless variety of videos, as well as adding your own for others to watch. So you can upload your own videos, and it has more than viral videos. It has some very useful tutorial type videos. Every major online business has a YouTube channel where they can promote their products. It is something that I use daily, YouTube. Digo is another example of searching online, and Digo is a research and collaborative research tool. It's also a knowledge sharing community, so you can, when you're finding a website on a topic, you can add it as a bookmark, and you have your own accounts, and then other people can see what you've been searching. There are online tools and mobile apps for it as well, but it's very good if you're a student, or you're doing some research, or you're just wanting to share what you actually look for. Flickr. If you've got photos, Flickr is an online photo management and sharing site, and you can view photos taken by people all over the world. You can create your own online albums to share with others. So you could put all of your photos up on Flickr, and then you could tell your family where to find them. The mobile apps again for all of these things to actually use. Google is not the only way to search. There are a whole lot of other ways to search depending on the media that you want. Try all the links in the accompanying document to see what else is available. Mobile apps for everything. So there are iPhone, Android phone, Windows 7 phone, all the different tablets all have mobile apps for the majority of these search type sites. You go to the appropriate store, the Apple Store, the Google Play Store, the Windows Market, to search for all these apps. And there are some tutorials. So there is a site, gcflearnfree.org, has a whole series of tutorials on how to search, better searching in the online world. So there's, if you're really very not too good at searching, and all you know how to do is do basic Google, try these tutorials. They don't take long, they're very quick, and they'll give you a better idea of what's around, how to search, how to actually evaluate your results to see if they're any good. For reading, you can get e-readers like a Kindle. You can read on your mobile device like the tablet or the iPad. You can also read on the actual computer. There are a number of sites there. Amazon.com will give you access to Kindle. So you could actually go to or download a Kindle application to work on your computer, or you can get the Kindle app and download that from the App Store or the Google Play Store. Google Play is Amazon's marketplace, and it's used for Android devices, tablets and phones. iBooks is the Apple bookstore, so that's used for iPads, iPhones, and iPod Touches, not on screen. ebooks.com is just another online bookstore where you can purchase and download ebooks. Other ways of reading, if you wanted to read newspapers, there is a pressdisplay.com where you can read for free almost any newspaper in the world from the day before. I think they're pretty recent. If you joined the State Library of Victoria, you have free access to online resources, which includes newspapers. But this one was just going to pressdisplay.com and looking at the whatever that paper is from England, and it was the day before the version of the paper, and it's truly interactive, and you can read the whole paper online. No mobile apps that I can see. All the major newspapers are online, so in Victoria it's The Age and the Herald Sun, the Australian. Most of them are subscription-based, though, so you're not going to get too much by going to those sites. You'll get some of it, but to read the whole paper and all the different sections, you have to subscribe. But there's some other links there to a guide to Australian newspapers online, and the paperboy.com has, again, whole lists of newspapers, both local, Australian and international. If you like magazines, then Zinio, and there's the link to it there, is where you can purchase magazine from Australia or anywhere and subscribe to that magazine, download it to your computer. There's also mobile apps, so you could read the newspaper on the iPad or the Android. You create an account, you subscribe to a magazine, you can read it online, or you download a mobile app. So magazines and periodicals. Pulse is an aggregator, so it collects information from anything that you're interested on the internet and produces an online magazine for you. So you create an account, and the address is there, or you sign in with Facebook. You select the categories that you're interested in, and your news is going to come from blogs, from newspapers, from websites. So in this one, this is an example of technology was one of the categories I was interested in, fun and humour. So it's giving me the most recent articles from all the technology blogs and sites, and I can click on those and read the story and interact with it. It's a very good way of staying up to date with current news. This video is part 4 of a series of how to get connected. So there are 3 other parts which go through different aspects of living in a connected world, and this is the website where you can find all of the other copies of it, as well as a link to download the document which has all the links.